Ai Weiwei is one of the most famous Chinese artists today. He uses his platform to illuminate social, political, and economic issues that affect the human condition. At the Masano Art Foundation in Los Angeles, Weiwei features Life Cycle, a sculptural response to the global refugee crisis. In order to fully understand his work, his life and art history must be learned first. Ai Weiwei was born in 1957 in Beijing, China. At a young age, Weiwei familiarized himself with art as his father was a poet. At one point during his childhood, his father was accused of being a racist and his family was exiled to remote locales. He spent most of his childhood and teenage years in Xinjiang, a self-governing region, until he and his family were able to return to Beijing in 1976. To escape the heavy restrictions of China, Weiwei attended Parsons School of Design in New York City. Weiwei grew interest in many art forms like painting, sculpting, architecture, literature, and film. In 2003, Weiwei created design firm and studio, Fake, where everyday products and items were used to create architecture, sculptures, and installations. In 2005, Weiwei was asked to write a blog about his life. This blog soon became a blunt criticism of China's government. This blog criticized issues like China's creative direction in the 2008 Olympics being tainted by government propaganda and corruption, poor leadership and aid after the Sichuan earthquake. This led to his blog being shut down and placed under citizen investigation. Ai Weiwei is known for his political artwork because of his experiences being held incommunicado for 3 years by Chinese authorities. His work fuses traditional Chinese practice and history with social and political issues. The fight to silence Weiwei did not stop at the blog. In 2011, Weiwei was detained for economic crimes or tax evasion. He was let out on bail and fought for 5 months to clear his name until he was presented with a tax bill of 15 million yuan. That's about $2 million American dollars. Using donations, he was able to contest the bill, but his appeal was denied in 2012 after his design firm, Fake, has its business license revoked. Now that we know Weiwei's background, let's get into his exhibit at the Masano Art Foundation. Before experiencing the life cycle, 2 of Weiwei's other works are showcased in the theater gallery. The first piece when entering is Sunflower Seeds. Composed of 49 tons of sunflower seeds, each seed is made of porcelain by 1,600 artisans in Jingdizhen. The sunflowers are used to represent cultural and economic international relations. Jingdizhen is China's porcelain production center. When first viewing the piece, one may not think much of a single sunflower seed until the labor and time each handcrafted seed took to make. This is what Weiwei's message is behind the work. Generally, people do not consider the effort it takes for international workers to produce everyday products. In the second piece, Spouts, Weiwei uses antique tea spouts dating back as far as the Song dynasty. The spouts represent youth in countries where one does not have the freedom to express their opinions. Freedom of speech is something that is taken advantage of or not thought of as a privilege. For instance, in Weiwei's country of origin, China, people are unable to express any opinion on political issues and publishing anything political may be potentially dangerous. Viewing this in a country where I am able to exercise my right to form opinions was very humbling. Much like the broken spouts, the youth in these countries have their abilities to voice their opinions stripped from them. In the black box at the Masano Art Foundation, Weiwei showcases his exhibition, Life Cycle, a response to the global refugee crisis. Life Cycle portrays an inflatable boat made of bamboo. It is built using traditional Chinese kite-making methods where bamboo or any other flexible wood is tied using thin strips of either twine or string to build a form. From there, fabric, mostly silk, is used to wrap around the bamboo framework and create the shape of the kite. The boat at the center of the black box is not wrapped in any silk. Around the boat are mythical creatures suspended by twine-like string. These creatures are created using the same Chinese kite-making method, only with more silk. These mythical creatures are from Chinese mythology, specifically from the Shanhaijing. In this book, locations within China are used to explain where these mythical creatures lived. Around the perimeter of the black box is another one of Weiwei's works titled Windows. Using bamboo, Weiwei creates almost a timeline of illustrations from the Shanhaijing and 20th century art. Bicycles and animals are used to represent governmental control and surveillance. They are consistently used throughout the piece. This represents how much and how long the government watches over citizens. An ongoing motif throughout all the pieces presented in the black box is freedom of speech and his ongoing efforts to defend one's right to use their voice. The fusion of Chinese folklore and modern products or practice represents the culture Weiwei grew to resist and refusal to accept the lack of freedom. Thank you for watching my video.